that everyone questions is longevity, because these days we only see them in installations, beautiful multi-million-dollar installations across the world in the name of promoting bamboo, or you see it in temporary houses, tents, and things like that. But that's not the case. Their bamboo houses 400 years old. But then you have to design, your construction system has to be proper. Unless until you know bamboo and how to design with bamboo, you actually cannot get those kind of buildings. It's very easy to do installations. Nobody questions you, nobody asks you anything. Bamboo is powdering, bamboo has got fungus. Nobody wants to, attend to that. We are all in a hurry, right? All the time. Our architecture, most of the time, is West oriented. What you see in the West, and we try to copy in the East. Our climates are completely different. Our building systems are completely different. And so our buildings also should be completely different. I want to thank the Architect's Diary to be giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you. And it just so happened, I quickly grabbed the opportunity because September we celebrate World Bamboo Day. And I've been trying to, from 6th we are in that bamboo month, literally. We have finished 2 programs and the third one is going on. One webinar, one exhibition on Bamboo City at the Glass House in BBMP headquarters. And then third is experiencing bamboo workshop, 7 days. It's going on right now. We are making a tea house. And this is the 4th program that we have today. And so the moment Elev8 people contacted me, I said, this is just the right month and the time to take the thing. So I immediately said yes, I will conduct a masterclass. And the last one that we have in the program is another webinar on bamboo in industries. So I first had given the misunderstood bamboo. And then there were many other, and it was a masterclass, so I was wondering whether it's going to be an interactive one or how it is going to be. So I won't put anything and then just answer questions is what I had thought first. But I thought I'll quickly put some slides. So generally I do a lot of slides, it's always more than 100. But today I think there are only 15 slides I put. And there won't be many photographs, but there are many questions. And some answers I have put here. But I also would like it to be interactive, so you are free to ask questions. Of course, at the end of the session, otherwise it will prolong. We can't get into a lot of dialogue in between, but you are free to ask questions, and I like questions. And I think that's where the part of inquiry is very important. In most of the profession, most of the life, but especially in architecture, it is definitely required. So, so I started with that. And then I also thought that I will add that bamboo architect and the bamboo architecture, because these are terms I'm very sure you people have seen floating around on the net a lot. There are a lot of competitions where entries, or they call it bamboo architecture, is winning a lot of great awards. And all these things are happening across the world. And so I thought, even there are a lot of misunderstandings even around that. And I thought I will try to do my bit, working with bamboo for almost close to 3 decades, not 3 decades yet, but close to 3 decades, and trying to work at the grassroots and taking it to the global stage. So it's a very tough task to have 1 foot here and 1 foot there, but yes, that's what I had to do. And so I'll first go through the various myths. And suddenly again, I was doing buildings with bamboo, and I was doing courses. But that one code that you see on the top, not code, that is actually the after COP 27. Bamboo was recognized as one of the top 5 solutions for climate change mitigation. And that is for ecology and also for the development sector. And that is not just buildings, but generally otherwise. And that's why also bamboo has assumed a lot of importance, not just in the building sector, but many other sectors. And I'll be quickly going through that with the questions here. So this is the plant, bamboo plant. I mean, you can see the size of the person. So there are bamboos of that size also. I mean, they're pretty. So bamboo is a tree? No, it's a hardy grass. And snakes live in bamboo clumps. So nobody wants to plant bamboo around them, which is absolutely wrong. You can plant any tree. Snakes live in nature. You are replacing them, so they come everywhere. That's it. There's nothing more to it. Then bamboo plants catch fire. They say bamboo forests catch fire. Dead bamboo forests catch fire, not live bamboo forests or green bamboo or something like that. Only when bamboo dies, which becomes completely dry, it catches fire. Because fire has been another very big topic which has been associated by telling that, okay, bamboo cannot be used or bamboo cannot be planted in your vicinity. So that was another factor. Bamboo roots, they invade buildings. Bamboo is of three types. One is monopodial, single bamboo culms that come out. There's one which is in a clump, and there's one which is amphibial, which can be monopodial, and this one, depending on the climate and the way things you plant and species and things like that. In India, majority of the bamboo is clump bamboo, sympodial. So we have clumps. They don't run. So if you are able to take good distance between the bamboo plants and do proper pruning, harvesting the bamboo all the time, it does not get into your building. Another factor, bamboo roots don't go deep. They're generally on the surface. So they cannot invade. Maximum they might go to 1 meter, but they don't go more than that, down. They hold the surface, they hold the soil, so that is how things are. So that is something which is another myth that has been there. People also think all bamboos are the same, they look the same. There are approximately 1,700 species across the world. In India, I think we have around 130, plus in 23 genera in India itself. And each bamboo has got its own properties. The properties also change when the climatic zones change. Especially in terms of when we are using it for the industry and things, it changes. So that's another. So if you plant anything and then so my bamboo is not coming, this bamboo is not good for my furniture, or this bamboo is not good for my bamboo shoot, or bamboo shoot has become poisonous, you have to be very careful about what you choose, what you actually plant, or what bamboo you're talking about. Then once we cut bamboo, we have to plant it again, is what many people, and believe it or not, there are many landscape architects also asked me this question. Bamboo is one plant which is regenerative. So you plant it once, and after third or fourth year, every year you get a harvest. You have to necessarily harvest bamboo. You get this material out, and after that, every year, it keeps on regenerating and growing. So you don't have to, plant it again. Unlike other trees, they do 10 for 15 years, and till in 15 years you don't get anything, and then you cut it and then it's gone, and again you have to replant. So that is another factor. And bamboo dies at the end of its life. Only one time it flowers and dies after that. And that's when we get the seeds are called bamboo rice. It's also used for generating new plants, and that's how things actually happen in the life of bamboo. But that can be 40 to 60 to even 100 years. And if you have a bamboo which is asexual, now there are many species are like that, then it's for eternity. As long as you take care of it, you keep getting bamboo out of it. So it's like giving you, crops all the time. Then it's about the material. That everyone questions is longevity. Because these days we only see them in installations, beautiful multi-million-dollar installations across the world in the name of promoting bamboo. Or you see it in, temporary houses, tents, and things like that. But that's not the case. There are bamboo houses 400 years old in South America and many other places. that I will be again showing it later, but I'm just talking about that. This can actually last, but then you have to design, your construction system has to be proper. Unless until you know bamboo and how to design with bamboo, you actually cannot get those kind of buildings. It's very easy to do installations. Nobody questions you, nobody asks you anything. Bamboo is powdering, bamboo has got fungus. Nobody wants to, attend to that. We are all in a hurry, right? All the time. And so everyone is doing that. It's stronger than steel, and yes, it is, but not in every aspect, what you call. So it's a different material. So in tensile strength, it is much more than steel, but it is also has got this weight to strength ratio. So you might be, I do not know how many people would know, your silk thread from the cobweb is stronger than steel per weight. So if you understand nature that way, in nature there are many more things which are not man-made and nature-made are much, much stronger than the man-made materials that we keep on boasting about and marketing it. So that's another factor. And in that way, you have to really see it like that. Yeah, only suited for low-class buildings, and either it is like a shack or it's a 5-star deluxe resort. There's nothing in between. If you see around here, so either it's a shack which is put on the head of the poor people that, okay, as a government housing or whatever, something and some donation has happened, you get this bamboo house, or it's completely a 5-star hotel where people who have second, third houses and then they go there and spend a lot of money and they stay there, and that's how bamboo is again perceived as a material. Because it leads, if you don't maintain, it becomes a shack. If you maintain continuously, it becomes a 5-star resort at a very expensive construction at that thing, even also very expensive to maintain. So that's another myth that we have. And I think the bamboo buildings, again, they are very fire prone. There was a massive fire that happened in Mumbai in one small restaurant on the rooftop of an apartment, and so many bans happened and all these things happened. I think one had happened a long time back in Chennai also. They used dry bamboo. You don't use properly. You don't insulate it properly, means finishing to coat. I'm not talking about insulation, the other kind. You don't insulate your electric circuits properly, and then anything can catch fire. Has anyone questioned all these wooden doors and windows ever? Whether they will catch fire? The bamboo is the same. I don't know how the difference can be there, like that. Bamboo can be exposed to elements in buildings. Our architecture, most of the time, is West oriented. What you see in the West, and we try to copy in the East. Our climates are completely different. Our building systems are completely different. And so our buildings also should be completely different. Materials also should be different. Like what kind of buildings that we can do here with open verandas and things you can't do in Europe, right? You can't sit like that. But then why do one thinks that what is done there, window with no window shades, because it looks chic, finished building like that. Very cubism. There are many words. I'm sorry, I've got a little allergy to these words which are more market oriented rather than actually talking about architecture for me as I'm concerned. And that I get to discuss very little because I am a bamboo architect, so I have to talk about bamboo. Not the concepts of how I perceive the space or how I perceived my interventions and how I perceived all the other things. So you are a bamboo architect. I mean, that's one thing out there. But bamboo does need a boot and a hat. It's not just this thing only for bamboo, it's also for wood. I think you saw the Sabha building, you saw many other buildings. Every wooden column had a shoe of stone so that moisture doesn't get into the material, and they are covered. In Indian conditions, they have to be covered. In any tropical condition, they have to be covered. You have to protect it from the rains and things like that, because they are not like factory-produced materials which already have been processed, gone through the testing and gone through all that. That processing happens at your door, at your site, and you have to take care of that. So judging a material by not giving its due is something which is not fair. So that's something another. And cutting bamboo for development will lead to deforestation, that I have already explained. But this is what people keep on talking about, that when you, just like trees, they think that if you cut bamboo, it becomes deforestation. Then why are we wanting to use bamboo, and why are you promoting bamboo usage in building sector or development sector? Now, traditional building systems, and I think I just now spoke, there's a shack. That's also in Assam, the top one. And does it work? Yeah, this is also in Assam. This is also in Assam. It's a different type of a topology, and this is a different type of topology. So what is your purpose, what is your requirement, accordingly you design. And that's how buildings are supposed to be designed. Not one solution fits all. And that's where, and that building that you see there, this is from South America, 400 years old. And that's with bamboo. The whole walling system and everything is with bamboo. And so you can see the difference kind of things that can be actually done with this particular material. Yeah, and yeah, these are some things. Traditional building systems are only for vernacular buildings. The moment I utter bamboo, they say, oh, vernacular architecture, right? So that is something which is, or small house, or small something, or again resort. I mean, it's like that. You're put in a silo, and this is what bamboo can do, and that's it. So that's another reminder. The building techniques are outdated, they say. The bamboo crete walling system, which is going across the world today, in India, it was developed by Plywood Institute from the Assam house walling system. It's just a retrofit on that. As architects, as building professionals, we build on what is there in the past. If we don't think about tradition, don't think about traditional, and not just tradition in terms of space and things, also in terms of processes, in terms of systems, in terms of materials. And only then we can actually do proper justice to it, because there's a lot to learn. Things change, things take a lot of time to change. So it will take change, it will take time to change, but we have to start somewhere, right? And all this, why it has all happened like this, the bamboo in this kind of situation? There's only one reason. Bamboo doesn't grow in Europe. They colonized us. Bamboo is a poor man's timber, and Burma teak or teak is a high-profile person's timber. So if you go to Northeast, your governor's house will be made with the same walling system, but it will be teak, columns and all those things. If it goes to a poor man's house, it will be bamboo without any plastering. If it is a middle kind of person, it will be that kind of a house which is there below. So it's the same material, same this thing, but they started classifying, because they did not know about bamboo at all. And that's another factor. Yeah, the durability I'm already talking about. Maintenance. They talk about maintenance. Traditional buildings are actually not the way they are shown. You throw them, you do anything about it, and then you think that it will grow on its own. And another thing, why we are talking about low maintenance, because we don't maintain our new buildings also. We want no maintenance buildings. We want to completely make it plastic, make a steel core and thing that it does not need, or poured cement. Hey, are we going to live in a water tank, or can somebody live in a water tank? Poured concrete wall, I mean, I can't even think about it. This is something which is absolutely, to me, it's absurd. The house has to breathe, the building has to breathe, not only through the windows, but also through the walls and everywhere. And that's something which is also to be understood. So that is another factor, and I cannot say right now here, but you are welcome to my office and my house, built in 2009, my house, and 2010, my office. 15, 16 years. House actually 2008. So yeah, so many years. I think we have painted it twice, and that also with lime. Simple, normal lime. And that's the maintenance that is there. Bamboos also we have done 2 times only, touch wood. We didn't need to do anything much. So that's also another myth about this. And they are all of one type, each climatic zone. Yeah, that's another, because of the cement and concrete labs and things and industries and whatever is happening, one solution fits all. If you do that, then you are global. You are absolutely at the front runner of the civilization. Each climatic zone has its own requirements, and all that we are talking about for climate change is to build with local wisdom, local materials, local this thing. And why these things worked? Because nobody transported. There was no means also at that time. They didn't transport. They had ingenious, wisdom to work with the materials that were near their hand, and they use it to make all the things that they wanted to do. And it can be done even today. Okay, so and then we have these value-added products. They are very, very nice, very good, and it's very necessary for value addition to bamboo. But again, here also people just simply go overboard. So that when you're doing, either you transport it from South America, so all transportation CO2 and everything that you add to it, so that's one thing. Because they want complete, round, proper pole to work with, like a pole. Now, bamboo is a natural material. You cannot expect that to happen. Also, when you transport all the way, bamboo doesn't remain sustainable from any point of view. So that's another factor that we actually need to think about. They are more durable, but also high energy. Means that they take much more energy to produce. They also we still do not have a glue which is completely completely free of health hazard. So we also have to keep that factor in mind. Everyone is working on it, and I'm hoping very soon we should have glue that can actually be used for these ones, which can be so in my opinion. So if you say they can be used for all the building components. National Bamboo Mission promotes bamboo industries, value-added industries. They promote industries. They don't promote bamboo. You understand the difference between the two? So industries, because they make money and you can have these figures in your files to say so much of production, so much of import, so much of export. I met one contractor who came to work for me, and he very proudly said he worked for National Bamboo Mission projects in Chandrapur area. And I don't know how many people you know. Chandrapur in India gets the highest temperature. Is the hottest place in our country. Is in Gadchiroli district. And so there he used bamboo ply as walls and bamboo ply as roof without any proper insulation. So the heat, and it was for children. Children from underprivileged, hostel for them. They live in that plywood boxes. And the heat, the emission of harmful gases from that is what they breathe. And that's what we have. When we use a material, we have to use it mindfully. It's an excellent material. There's roofing, everything is there with the value-added composite. But put it in the right place, design it well, use the material properly, only then it will have the effect that it's supposed to have. And that is something which is very, very important to understand. Any material we pick up, where does steel come from? It comes from nature. Is it natural anymore? So everything comes from nature. Man has not done anything. We have just processed it. We are only processing people. And the more you process, we have this phrase, oh, it looks so highly finished. The more highly you finish, the more energy you are using, the more resources you are using, and it starts getting non-biodegradable the more you finish it. So you're taking away from nature and you're taking it to some finish. And we proudly say the more civilized people, the more finished products they use in their houses. So that's how, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. They can also be used for external facades, which again I said, it cannot work. There are many projects which are floating around on bamboo. There's a Jungle Lodges Resort head office. It came in the newspapers. They have used these bamboo composites on the facade for cladding. I tried to oppose it, not because I wanted the project, but it's a wrong use of the material, which will put all the bamboo industries and entrepreneurs and people like us who have tried to struggle for mainstreaming bamboo in the construction sector for several years, 3 decades, 4 decades, we have put it. But that one fancy work by one architect can actually put the whole thing back. It can completely derail it. So one has to work with responsibility. Not because somebody else did something which happened in the airport. Airport is in the interiors. It's not somewhere outside. So you have to really understand the difference where you are using it without mindlessly trying to say, and it has become like .com word, bamboo. I have used bamboo, I have used so many kilometers of bamboo and so many CO2 has come out. And so my building is absolutely sustainable. And these people have the muscle, they have the marketing energy, they have the power to talk about it in the media, and they take influencers who can actually influence several people. And people who work at the grassroots level and trying to do things, can't even, archive our buildings properly to showcase. I don't have a website for 1.5 years. I've been trying to get it. So it's like, and then, so it just keeps on going. It keeps on going, like that. We also have a lot of multi-storied timber buildings are very eco-friendly. So all over the world this is happening. Maybe in Europe, definitely not in India. Except for some places which are very cold, you cannot have those buildings. We are getting in Australian, Canadian wood buildings and all that being promoted all over the country for resorts and things. And then once you do that, you are hot inside, you put air conditioning, you put all those elements, and then you try to put a eco-friendly air conditioner and say that I am eco-friendly. So that's how you first make a box, which is completely unrelated to the climate outside, and then you suddenly put something like that and you are eco-friendly. You can tick it. In your lead rating or rating, you can tick it if you have used an air conditioner which is eco-friendly, given by them. So this is something which is another level. Yeah, this is, I talked about. So if you're transporting from another country, Malaysian wood, Malaysian this thing, Chinese this thing, all that energy that you are putting into there adds to it. So it doesn't remain sustainable. They talk about construction cost. So I'm always pressed, put this thing down, cost. Housing, if you say 700, they'll say, oh, do it in 500. If you say 1,000, they'll say even less. In bamboo, I think if anyone is interested in bamboo, everyone knows about bamboo and Bali, bamboo. Their construction cost, I have Chetan here. Thanks to him, I was able to go. He had done a trip, and I was part of that. I visited Green School Bali in 2015. At that time, it was $1,500. That is the kind of costing that you have. So here, you ask somebody $100 for your house per square feet, for that kind of a housing. And they'll just throw you out. And you go and ask anyone, Orrin Hardy, Laura Hardy, or John Hardy, what is the cost of your building? You will never get an answer. Never. Because they know that's where the whole thing lies. And when I was in this thing, I asked one of the architects, because it was an architect's trip, would you like to live in a house like that? He says, 1 hour is fine. Not more than that. I asked a Balinese person, is that your traditional building? No. We can't live in that kind of a house. And they are multi-million dollars houses, and people go there. I mean, that's what is ruling the internet at the moment. And it's not just there. It has come to India also. To me, they will not give me 2,000 rupees a square feet or 3,000 rupees a square feet, telling it's expensive. To those people, they give 10,000 rupees a square feet and get it built. So that's how things are. And those buildings, mind you, in Bali, again, they will not tell you. Every year they paint. Every 3 years they change their roof. I do not know how maintenance free they call it. Every 3 years they change the roof. They have to. And okay, so that actually is my house, built in 2008-9, in between there. At that time, the construction cost was 700 rupees. If I consider my fee and everything, 1,100 rupees it costed me at that time. This is mud, bamboo, lime, stone, and about 10% of cement, and about 5 to 10% of steel. Rest is all that, and that's the kind of cost I get. I could build my house. And it's a very upmarket house. There's nothing shack about it. It's not those Bali things, but it's a very good finished building. I invite again all of you to come and see how only with mud, only with all your lime and these kind of materials, you can still build very good day-to-day buildings for everyday uses. That's what is the crux of the bamboo infrastructure. I will have a photograph later. And this was the first airport where it was used by Richard Rogers in Spain. For that airport, it is done by a Chinese company. Toll booth on the top, done by Simon Village. That's a hangar on the right side. This one. And this is our very own roofing sheet developed in Bangalore by Plywood Institute. Excellent product, no availability at the moment. So I don't want to go in detail too much because there's a lot of things still to talk. But yeah, they can use for small buildings, that's what they think. But so this is just QED. And bamboo bridges are not durable. I've done a Yamuna Biodiversity Park bridge. Unfortunately, I did not put the photograph here. In 2005-06, it is still there, and 70% of the material can still be recoverable. You need to design it well. You need to design for the purpose. And it's in the Biodiversity Park. It is in the Yamuna Biodiversity Park, famous for its biodiversity. So it is on a stream. It's lasted so many years. Infrastructure projects like metro. So I tried to put in metro in 2013. Mr. Shivshailam, he was the MD at that time. He invited me to put it, but the technical people were not happy about that. And they told me, why don't you just build a small store and then we will again. Stores where I have been doing it. I want to upscale. That's why I have come here. I want to show the potential because that I have been doing for 20 years already. And everyone else has been doing it. So that's very difficult to convince clients. Yeah, the combination of natural and processed bamboo, and I also do not think it very wise to use all processed bamboo in the infrastructure projects. It can be a combination. So where is what has to be used, where what should not be used, understanding that very well, because if you use it, you will have a cost-effective solution and also a proper building which can be practically maintenance-free. And fireproof, very important, because they kept on telling about fire audit. That was 2013. And 2017, I got a letter from SOM, New York, for a big transportation project. And I did the auditing of their drawings as an expert on bamboo, Indian bamboo. And 3 months we corresponded. They sent their drawings. They took all the data on fire, this thing, that thing, and everything, codes out here, because India was the first country to have a code in 2005 on bamboo. So we had that, so I gave that. And then they absolutely kept quiet. That was 2017, January to March. And in 2018, I go to Beijing for a BARC conference on bamboo and rattan. And I have this guy from China, he's telling me I'm doing an airport in Bangalore. And then I asked him who are the architects. They said SOM. SOM never thought it necessary to acknowledge that it's a beautiful airport. But bamboo is there. I'm definitely responsible for that because I was able to convince them that you can use bamboo without fear here. So that's another. We can do check dams, windbreaks. There are lots of examples. I mean, that lecture would have gone for 2 hours, so I'm not really want to do that. There are a lot of industries. I think India, again, is the first country to have a first bamboo-based ethanol plant in Assam on 18 September, just 2 days ago. It has been, so it is even in energy. You can have biogas. You can see that is a Lexus car interior with bamboo out there. This one. These are winding with bamboo fibers. These are pipes which are being used for all kinds of services and things like that in China. And this actually 2018 I saw all the, when I went there to Beijing, I saw all the, they already were doing it actually with that. And of course in textiles, in all the daily lives, furnitures you all know. But the difference between cane and bamboo, so they are two different materials. Recently I have launched in 2023 my Bamboo City project. And because cities are the hub of carbon emissions, but they also hubs of economy. So how do you actually try to balance development with ecology? And this is a solution that I came up with, and it encapsulates your responsity and all this, everything gets I don't have so much time, so I cannot really go into the detail of it. But when I say Bamboo City, people think that all the buildings will be made with bamboo, or everything will be done with bamboo. It's not like that. We are proposing 30% minimum inclusion in all development sectors, including everything. Because bamboo sector also produces a lot of waste, so that can be used for energy, that can be used for other products and things like that. So that's 30% inclusion. Bamboo will be planted everywhere because I am telling that one bamboo per citizen. So 15 million bamboo to be planted in Bangalore under this program in the next 7 years is what I am pushing it through the BBMP climate action plan. And we have got the collaboration letter. I'm happy to share. So that's how we did it in BBMP, our program. But we are not going to plant bamboo everywhere. We had some landscape architects who pulled out of our advisory committee because of this, thinking that I am promoting monoculture. We are proposing only 1/3 of the total green space in Bangalore to be covered, and that includes waste spaces, waste lands which are outside, not outside, inside in the periphery of Bangalore, and wherever it is, they are degraded lands. In all that we will be planting where other trees cannot grow. And that's what we are proposing. And in there only 1/3. And after you have done some years of bamboo, if you remove bamboo and plant other trees, your soil gets retrofitted. It's called phytoremediation. Bamboo does phytoremediation of the soil. So after some time, you can actually do that. You want to do a building, remove the bamboo because it's not very deep. You remove it and you can, till that time, you can enjoy it. So it's like that. Any tree can fix CO2. Why only bamboo? Bamboo produces 35% more oxygen than other plants because it grows very fast, and the way this thing is, it grows very fast. So it also will do greening of the city quickly. It will do phytoremediation. There are lots of things. Lake rejuvenation, water retention in lakes. These are many ecological properties of bamboo which will happen. And at the end of it, you also get material, which we can convert into industries, all different kind of industry that I showed, and many more. And then so we have that regenerative. You don't have to dig in anywhere. You don't have to cut trees. You don't have to do that. You have a regenerative source. So this Bamboo City talks about a regenerative city in about a decade, and then regenerative thereafter. And in that much time, we should be able to get, and I have the calculations that I think we have put on our website, CGBMT website, that it will become like that if we go through the proper plan, and we are pushing it out as much as possible. And again, this last topic I've already spoken. Yes. Yeah, this I think spoke in the beginning. So I am a bamboo architect. In 1999, I started working with bamboo. I had a 5-star deluxe hotel in 125-acre campus in Bangalore called the Sun City by Garuda Builders. And it was the largest hotel and the most this thing in this country. And they had offices in Boston. I was the architect. There was a groundbreaking. And then airport got postponed because 2003, this airport had to be actually inaugurated. So it got pushed because of political things and all that. And then that particular land where the hotel facility had to be put was taken by Bayappa after the work started on the site. Now, around that time, I also started working with bamboo, and then it was like a watershed over all my projects, where I was doing 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs worth of square footage. People started asking me to do pergolas and balconies and sheds on the rooftop in 5 years after started working. So that was another extreme. Labeling me as a bamboo architect, so you can't do anything else. No. I have done housing, I have done hospitals, I have done all those kind of things and bamboo. And because of that, I can handle any project, and we have been doing it. Though, unfortunately, now we don't have the website, and whatever people see is, you see what you want to see as a bamboo thing on the top. So it's like that. And I use all kinds of materials. As you would have seen, you will see this is my office, so it actually gives the idea of what is my thinking about what I think architecture to be and what I think an architect should be doing in a profession. It's an embodiment of my idea of being open, being interactive, being social, and all those kind of things together, working together, which have become a buzzword now. We have been doing it for a very, very long time. And that particular thing, three materials this is in front of my house actually. If you see the combination of three materials, these were the materials which were used by our predecessors and our ancestors most of the time in buildings. Local wood, bamboo, stone, mud. So my buildings are a vocabulary of all this together, a new vocabulary in a new contemporary way that we want to do. And I use all kinds of styles. Bamboo buildings, again, is architecture with one material. The one on the top is by Simon Welles. It's called the Crossover Lodge. It's in China. He uses all kinds of materials. And Simon Welles is a name you cannot ignore in the bamboo because more than 50 years of work he has put his life. He's from Bogota, Colombia. And you can see, we use all kinds of, there are only a few people who are using the other thing. And even the bottom one is by this one, Wotrong from Vietnam. Stone, bamboo, mud. You mix it, it will be much more acceptable to people. It will be much less of a bother. There are many advantages of doing that. So like any material, bamboo has got its strengths and weaknesses. I would say not weaknesses, limitations. And so it should be, when you design, you respect that. And then you get a good building. You cannot say bamboo gets rotten. You are not taking care of that. So how do you expect the material to give it back to you, right? Yeah, and my office also, the same thing, people think that we do only bamboo projects. So this is that petrol station I'm talking about. We got the Rethinking the Future award for this in transportation category in 2017. This is what we had proposed for Bangalore, for Jaipur, Jayanagar section actually. So we have done, and that airport that you see, but we also do projects of that size, 150 square feet. That's a Toda house in the Nilgiris, Toda hut in the Nilgiri Biosphere UNESCO Heritage Site, where there are only about 1,000 people of that particular tribe, and they do pre-modern, excellent building. The thermal lag of the building is 10 hours. We really need to learn that. I don't know how many of our buildings made with these mortar materials can boast of that kind of a thermal lag in a harsh climate like Ooty and the Nilgiris. They do, and they last for almost 25 years. And I feel very honored that I have been asked, with whatever knowledge I have, to retrofit and get a new style which will be more, acceptable to the current generation, because they cannot, earlier they were herders, now they have different kinds of professions like us. How do we continue the tradition, and how do we do it otherwise? I'd even take that kind of a project as that small because of the importance that it has. And that's very, very, for our office, that's a very important part. As to the thread, which is the correction to nature, simplicity. I like making things very straightforward and simple, and it's very difficult to achieve. People who had come to open NID here in India, Charles Ames, if you know, they went around India to find the theme, how it should be and what NID should be doing. And they found one object which if anyone knows, can anyone answer? Lota. Yes. Lota. A brass, container. It has got several uses. Simplicity is something else very difficult to achieve. Very difficult to achieve. Complex thing by throwing things together, cut, paste, ideas from here, ideas from there is very easy to achieve. And you produce 1 is equal to 1, but you will go all around and say 1 is to 1 to say that. That's what is today's generation, and not generation. I mean, today the profession is like that. Where the profession is running. I like to make things very simple, so people think that there is no effort being put. It takes a lot of effort, let me tell you. It takes a lot of effort to make your building disappear when you are in the building. Your building should disappear. You should not notice the building, because you are there to do some work, some program, some function, and that is important, not you. And that is something, when you get to this simple level, then only you can achieve that kind of a simplicity and absolute simplicity of design. And that is something, again, people are using bamboo these days. All life they do steel, concrete, glass, and suddenly at the end of their life, they do a bamboo project of small size. They claim awards all over the world, very prestigious awards. And I wonder, where do we stand? So it's like Again, CGBMT, people think I only do bamboo workshops. That's not the case. And CGBMT is only about bamboo. Again, not the case. CGBMT is my NGO, which I registered in 2004. And it's not only for bamboo. It's basically for eco-advocacy. And our first major program that we did at a national conference was on Sustainable Living 01 in 2007. It was declared as a year for sustainability for the first time. And our program was the only program in the country that I did in Kabban Park, right here in Bangalore, 3 days program. So CGBMT is about sustainable living, because as architects, we want sustainable projects. How do you do when the people don't live sustainably? You don't get clients. How do you do that? You have to convince your clients. So that was the approach that I was having. Unless until you have people by skilling, unless until you have clients who want to be sustainable, we can't move forward. So I started this NGO to take care of that, and that is, I'm very happy to say, this is in Devanhalli on IVC Road, and this part, what you see here, the first phase, we have sort of finished almost, and we are going to start our programs there. But I mean, I have been doing so many projects, workshops till now, but this is where, and this is actually a place of belonging. And sustainability is such a subjective word these days, like .com. So during COVID, I said, okay, we'll talk about simple living, not sustainable living. Because again, it becomes a very, as I said, you do everything and you say it's sustainable. So it's like, I was just trying to do that. So our workshops are only for construction, no way. We do everything else. Again, it's not just for building industry, we also teach plantation, we also teach services, lake rejuvenation, water, waste management, we do all that in our workshops. And healthy habitats, so it's building, it's services, it's also landscaping. And I would say landscaping, again, natural landscaping, I'm not talking about sorry again to use the word, Singapore landscaping. So that's not the thing here. We do soft skilling as well. Because I feel the way media is going and the communication is going and our everything is going, we need a disruptive change to the thought process. The change has to happen here within all of us. And only then there can be a climate change mitigation or whatever we are talking about. Till we change here about what is happiness to us, we sit and ask that question, what is happiness to me? Until you do that, till all of us do that, we cannot escape. And I don't think it's global warming anymore. It's global boiling or sizzling, evaporation, somewhere we have already reached there. We already crossed that 1.5 degrees several times. So we have reached that point. And so this is what we do. And this is my book that I have written. I have a copy here. And in this bamboo month, we are providing 20% discount to students and 15% discount to everybody else. Though it is not getting into the backhand of my CGBMT website, but you can write to us and we will definitely, yeah, you can hold one, yeah. So this is volume 1, talks about all the bamboo properties, material, joinery and everything. And the second one is all about the building systems, various kind of building systems that we actually are doing. So you can go on our CGBMT website and know more about the book. And so yeah, there's still a lot of data left with me, and I'm planning to put it more. If anyone is interested in working on those, you are happy, you can always mail to us, and we will get back to you. And you can also directly put it on our CGBMT website. We have this form that you can fill up if you want to do. Yeah, and this is actually the World Bamboo Ambassador. No, I'm the World Bamboo Ambassador of one of the around 50 people across the world. She is the Executive Director of World Bamboo Organization. And very recently, on 13th, we have signed an MOU with them for international internship to work on Bamboo City project. And the person will be from anywhere in the world. We are, till 30th September, it is on our website again. Till 30th September, we are accepting applications for that. And anyone can apply. So that's about 6 months. Extendable to another 6 months, depending on the project and the person's capacity. And so she has been very grateful. He is from Bamboo Villages from Bali. He is the president of World Bamboo Organization, and him you definitely know, Nitin Gadkari, championing bamboo all the way. So this book was launched by him. This is my last slide. You see things and say why, but I dream things that never were. And I say, why not? And this is my very favorite quote. And this photograph is of my 2 people who have been like again, rock solid support, Andilal and Gopal from Bihar, who have been there with us from 2007. They came as gardener, they came as, Gopal came as mason, and now they are the faculty, they are teaching, they are training, and they have gone across the world with us, everywhere. And this is from a workshop in Care College, Trichy, if anyone remembers this. We did that cocoon project there, which was with School of Architecture, Denmark, RS School of Architecture, Denmark. And look at the confidence on his face. This is a professor so this is from going from local to global. That is not just that. It's lifting these artisans, these people who have prior knowledge. So we are acknowledging the prior knowledge that they have already have. We get a PhD, a doctor, in 3 years to 5 years. They have been working on these materials, bamboo, your cement, stone, for generations. How much insight they must have had. Acknowledgement of that prior learning is a very important thing that has to come in the architecture profession by all of us. And that's when things will move forward. Thank you so much.